mission yaffe mission eyaffe gye tulina mission eryeki okulaba nti nga coordinators tukola kye tusobola tukozesa facts development enkulaakulana NRM gyekoze wansi wa president waffe Museveni nereeta mu ggwanga okulaba tugikozesa okulaba twenyweza enfumu lyaffe tulyongeramu ki amaanyi nga tewali atataganya nange ndyagalako oba oyagala effumu wandibadde otegeera engeri gye twalifunamu ffe twalifuna tutya ekirungi ffe twalwana. Your mission is to do whatever you can okukola nga omusobola okulaba nti obuyinza buno bwe tusobodde okukozesa bulungi emyaka 34 tweyongera okubunyweza ne tubeera nabwe ne tubukozesa emyaka 7 ejja kubanga batumala emyaka 10 awo tuyinza okuba nti kale waliwo ayagala gezaamu tulabe kubanga tujja kuba tuzimbye foundation yatasobola okunyeenya tukwataganye.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello Uganda, are you ready? Should we begin? Now ladies and gentlemen, I know you got as angry as I did after watching that video, but the truth is we should never take statements like those very, very lightly, most especially if they're coming from people like Bantariza. You see, when I was growing up, I used to hear statements like, when President Museveni was coming to power, his intention was to rule Uganda for 50 years or more. Now, it was very difficult to believe something like that. Unless, right now, when you choose to analyze everything that they have been doing while in power, then you will understand that they meant everything that they said. But how did they do this? And by the way, before I continue, I wanted to name this video Stupid Ugandans, but because I'm not an abusive guy, I changed it to Lost Ugandans. We will go back into that, but right now, katusoke tugende wano ku point enkulu. How did they plan this? First, they introduced what we call false hope. Now, false hope is them coming, and then people start dancing on the streets. People start thinking that they have been rescued from the dogs, but they might have rescued you from what you used to call dogs. But we're going to go back to that too. And now, point number 2 was what we call false democracy. Now, this is the trickiest. This starts with the elections. Now, the elections make everybody think, or even the outside world, that this government is so democratic that they brought up elections abantu, but what people never ask themselves is that why is it that every election we get the fake presidential agents, I want to call them that, like Charia, Bariamuleva, Betty Kamya, all those kinds of people. They come and stand for power knowing that they are not going to win. They actually rise up in the same exact time the elections izija. 2, the use of money to rig votes. They go on and pay off people. When they're making the Bangababali campaign, I've been there. I've seen with my eyes Janet Museveni campaigning for a certain candidate, Ngagamba, Muronde NRM, because he ain't sente, which means sente za Uganda, sisa government, nga eyabantu, wabula za NRM. When someone says that, most especially a first lady, it means yakimanyi ku mutima nti sente si zaffe ng'abana Uganda wabula za NRM. And so, number 3 is the intimidation, the use of guns. Have you ever realized that each and every election, wabeerawo abantu abatambula on the streets with the guns, the members everywhere, roadblocks, whatever, roundabouts, everywhere, to put or paint a picture in your minds. You might see this all year or so many years to come. So people start thinking, you know what, we should not take this for granted. So they fear. And so elections with Zigwa, what do? If you feel like President Museveni yabiobulu, like he usually does, you go to court. Fake presidential candidates. Those fake presidential candidates, no, the man did not steal the elections. He won fair and square. So if there was anyone from the outside countries about to know what is happening in the court, there is no way he would back this up, because then but when you look closely, what they do later is come out and praise President Museveni, which what it means is that they were actually working for him. Now, point number 2, the Muhoozi project. The Muhoozi project, now, this is a young man, President Museveni, because they wanted to turn this into a monarchy. And, people used to think it's a rumor. No, it's not. This is why Muhoozi went and joined the army, and he later recruited his friends, just like you see Sabiti. He's a young boy, public eye, he was put in office in Nsio. And it is not a bad thing for him to take office. But what I'm trying to say is, Muhoozi, my men, which means they are preparing people like Sabiti that if Muhoozi takes power, people like Sabiti will be loyal to him because he is the one who recruited them. And 2, Muhoozi himself is coming out these days, slowly by slowly, to intimidate anyone who chooses to stand up against his father, on Twitter or whatever. And though people think that he's humble, but I don't trust that family at all. I don't. And when you add on to that, you'll realize even people like Sam Kutesa, who have been in government for so long, they have started to bring up their children. Even other people have been in power. They want to replace, to use their children to replace their positions. And so the point number 3, the use of religious leaders. I want to give an example of Pastor Bujingo, who recently came out and he condemned or commented on the ones who were killed or murdered, not the murderers. I mean, if you are a religious leader, you can't come out and say, bajja kubata, mulekerawo okuvaayo, mulekerawo okuwagira, olibata bajja kumutta. But then, in that same statement, you can't come out and say, mulekerawo okutta abantu, kubanga kikyamu. I mean, what kind of religious leader are you?
Munsonyiwe abooluganda mbabulirenga amazima. Abantu abafiira by'obufuzi nga si gw'ogenda okwesimbawo. Onoonya ki? Lwaki tobeera ku bintu byo? Kitalo nnyo olw'abantu betufiiriddwa. Naye kyekyamagezi tuleme okuddamu okufiirwa abalala. Nsaba owagire buli gw'oyagala, sina gwe gamba nti wagira gundi. Naye muwagirire ku mudaala gwo.
Like, you are condemning the ones that got killed, not the ones that actually killed them. Or watch the data. So in the long run, you start to see who they are actually working for. And I want to talk about a Sheikh Gugwa. You can't have the courage, no vine or government, if the president does not stand for power again. I will take him to court.
President Museveni tumuwagira mugambe era tusaba akomewo biri mmeka nze mpapula nazijjayo ddakaagezo okugaana bamawulire mukakwate. President Museveni bw'agaana okwesimbawo ngenda muwabira mu kkooti
wallahi billahi tallahi kigwana engalo
bw'agaana okwesimbawo mutwala mu kkooti empapula namaze dda okuzijjayo tukyayagala atukulembere amalirize ebintu bye tulaganyisa tebinagwayo tebinakola ki tebina.
But n'obulwa amaanyi agavaayo to comment ku basiraamu ababadde bajja battibwa with that same courage and strength, n'obulwa amaanyi agavaayo to comment ku basiraamu be basibidde obwemage with that same courage and strength. Now for us, abatunuulira ebintu bino, we just put it in our minds and tukimanya nti kati gukolera muzeeyi. It doesn't matter what happens to your fellow Muslims, you will continuously come out or defending omusajja. Now, this other point is number 4, the frustration of money. Frustration of money. Now this, they make sure that society eba teyina yadde akasente kyova olaba baddira ne hiking up the products that you use every day. Sukali nabeera wa bbeeyi, buli kimu nekibeera kya bbeeyi, kyokka nga okufuna omutwalo kizibu. To get the 10,000 is very, very difficult. Ne baddira fees w'omwana ne bamwongeza. Government schools ne zibanga si z'amaanyi nnyo, ate private schools ne zibanga zihikinga buli kintu, n'obanga olimesebwa tolina gy'olaga. And then they make sure that we never have equal opportunities. Omanti omulimi ne gitandika kubeera gya mwana waani, which is not supposed to be. Kyova olaba mugenda ne musoma, and then after you're done with that, they take you to school. Ne mumaze okusoma ne graduating, and then later you go to Arab countries. It is tekyakolebwa by mistake. No, this was not by mistake. Now still on this same case, frustration of money, the president comes out, naddira n'agula abantu abatategeera. For example, he comes out and says to the parliament nti sente tayinza state house, and then later parliament nemwongeza kati ye bw'avaawo n'azikozesa n'asasula abantu magaba Catherine kusaasira, ne bagendeyo ku kyalo nga balimba abantu nti President Museveni si alina obuzibu, abantu bano abamukolera bye balina obuzibu. But when they're actually using your money,
NRM
mulinde omulembe gwe mubulijja
muli tukubira muli tugamba
amena jezo.
You want to bring mine out? This is mine. This is mine. This is mine.
wamukitegera kyengezaako bagamba. So you end up nga tolina kyakola but to bow down to them, because now you know that the only people who can get you money oba oyina ekizibu beebo kuba obalabye nabo nga bazireebeesa. Now point number 5, the use of social media. Have you ever realized that these guys control everything? The most things ebisinga okulabibwa kati ku social media, the drama of celebrities, ezisinga okubeerako, gundi yayombye nono, gundi yakyayono, those ones are showed all the time. Kati ne muva ku bintu that will come back to shit on your kids later. Ngolusi mumvudde ne munsi. You don't look at the hospitals, you talk less about the education, you talk less about things that really, really matter. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play, you shouldn't joke, but I'm saying ebintu ebyomugaso mubiwa obudde butono. Ate ebyamagezi ne mubiwa ebyobusiru ne mubiwa obudde bungi nnyo. Kyova olaba TV stations ezisinga nazo kati zibeera ku ekyo. When you come out to say something ekirimu amakulu, they blunder you right away. Now, the point number 6, the gun violence. When I say the gun violence, I'm not only talking about the shootings that have been happening. I'm talking about the people who came with President Museveni in power that have these days come out. We have seen these people, General Katumba Wamala, Tumwine, Otafire, Charlie Gonza, Olweru, all of them coming out. Nebata Bantariza, all of them coming out. If you take us out of power, blood might come. Like, in using common sense, if they have elected you out of power, they have elected you out of power, you've accepted to leave power, there is no way But blood can come if they have elected you out of power, no ganirako, and then the people choose to rise up. That's when blood comes. So unless these people really, really want blood like they usually do, if they vote you out of power, watch over to power. If you are an opposition leader, no nebatakulonda, watch over to chita, no domundi. So what are the solutions to this? One, I'm just going to tell you a few. Teach our people about the information. People can never react to anything at information. They can never. Tell them why they should vote President Museveni out of power. Tell them why they should rise up against the dictator. But if you don't tell them this, we can never get the results that we are seeking for. Now, tell them about the fruits of unity. Tell them. The opposition leaders should unite, because a united opposition brings hope. A divided opposition brings discouragement. My last question, do you have to be funded to share this video? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.